If you're in school, then you probably have a teacher. I mean, everybody has some sort of teacher, professor, or caretaker. But have you ever had an evil teacher? Now, I'm not just talking about some teacher that has very strict rules. I'm talking about educators that have become serial killers, masterminds at shocking crimes, and betrayed the very people who trusted them most. And some of these cases made international headlines, while others remained hidden for years before finally being uncovered. And the deeper I looked into these stories, the more unbelievable they became. So today we're investigating the worst teachers ever, and trust me, this is only the beginning. Starting with this first teacher who wasn't just cruel. You see, he was secretly one of the most dangerous serial killers in modern history. His name was Andrei Chikatilo, and for years he lived for what appeared to be a completely ordinary life. He was a husband, a father, and perhaps most disturbingly, a school teacher. Now, to everyone around him, there was nothing that seemed particularly unusual. He taught Russian language and literature in the Soviet Union. He also graded papers, stood in front of classrooms, and was trusted by parents to educate their children. But behind that ordinary life as a teacher was a secret life that nobody could have imagined. And by the time the truth was finally uncovered, dozens of innocent people had lost their lives. But to fully understand why Andrei became a school teacher and also a murderer, let's take a deeper look at his backstory. You see, Andrei Chikatilo was born in 1936 in a small village in what is now known as Ukraine. He grew up during one of the darkest periods in Soviet history, living through famine, World War II, and extreme poverty. His childhood was filled with hardship, and while experts have never looked into those actual hardship experiences, those experiences led to what he later became. You see, those hardships and experiences helped paint a picture of someone who grew up in incredibly different circumstances. Now, as he got older, Chikatilo was known for being extremely awkward and shy. People who knew him described him as quiet, nervous, and someone who struggled to connect with others. Despite that though, he managed to graduate from university and eventually became a teacher, instructing students in Russian language and literature. Now, on paper, it looked like he had built a normal life. He got married, had 2 children, and spent years working in schools. But according to former students, there were already warning signs of what was to come. You see, several female students later accused Chikatilo of behaving inappropriately around them. Some said he made unwanted physical contact, while others claimed he would enter girls' dormitories without permission while working at a boarding school. But although complaints were made, there was never enough evidence to result in serious criminal consequences. Instead, he simply left one school and eventually stopped teaching altogether. Looking back, many investigators believe those incidents should have been taken much more seriously. And in modern society today, those claims would have been taken a lot more seriously. You see, in December of 1978, Chikatilo committed what investigators believe to be his first murder. And over the next 12 years, he traveled throughout parts of the Soviet Union looking for victims. He often searched near train stations, bus terminals, and other busy public places where people were constantly coming and going. And many of his victims were actually children, teenagers, or women traveling alone. And because he was a teacher at the time, he was very good at talking and starting conversations. So he would start a conversation with a victim and to convince them to walk with him into a nearby wooded area where nobody else was around. And once they were isolated, he attacked them. And the crime scenes that were left after the attacks were so violent that investigators quickly realized they weren't dealing with ordinary murders. They believed they were hunting a single offender responsible for a growing number of killings spread across multiple regions. But the problem was, nobody knew who that person was. And as more victims were discovered, fear spread throughout the Soviet Union. Police launched one of the largest murder investigations the country had ever seen. Detectives interviewed hundreds of thousands of people, followed thousands of leads, and created enormous databases of possible suspects. And at one point, investigators even arrested Chikatilo. Yeah, they finally arrested him. One of the worst teachers ever. The teacher who literally killed so many people. And this should have been the end of the case. But instead, one forensic mistake changed everything. Investigators compared biological evidence from one of the crime scenes with Chikatilo's blood type, and then concluded that it didn't match. So they believed they had the wrong man and released him. Yeah, a killer literally was arrested and then let back on the loose with no consequences. But the story doesn't have a dark ending, because years later, experts realized that Chikatilo had an extremely rare biological trait known as being a non-secretor, which essentially means whatever bodily fluids they found at those crime scenes didn't match to Chikatilo's blood type because of this condition. So because of that, the laboratory results had been misleading from the very beginning. The man police thought couldn't possibly be the killer killer actually was. And that mistake allowed him to remain free for several more years, getting more and more victims. But in order to finally catch Chikatilo, one of the worst teachers ever, investigators changed their strategy. Instead of relying on only forensic evidence, they began watching train stations where many victims had last been seen. And in November 1990, officers spotted Chikatilo acting suspiciously and placed him under surveillance before finally arresting him. And after he was arrested, police started searching deeper into his past, and they discovered something even more disturbing, which you and I both already know. And of course, at first, Chikatilo denied everything, but after hours of interviews with the psychiatrist, he began confessing in extraordinary detail, and he ultimately admitted to 56 murders and was convicted of 52. Chikatilo's trial in 1992 shocked the Soviet Union. Victims' families packed the courtroom, and because tensions were so high, he was kept inside a steel cage throughout much of the proceedings. And in 1994, he was finally executed. Now, after hearing Andrei Chikatilo's full story, it's honestly terrifying to think that someone trusted to educate children and stand in front of a classroom was secretly living one of the darkest double lives in history. But trust me, it actually gets worse, because this next teacher used promises of love to lead his next victims directly into a deadly trap, and his name was Mohan Kumar. Mohan Kumar was a former primary school teacher from India, and before his horrendous crimes were uncovered, he was known as someone who had spent his days teaching young children inside of a classroom. To the people around him, he didn't look dangerous. He was soft-spoken, polite, educated, and respectable, the kind of person that many people wouldn't think twice about trusting, and that trust became his greatest weapon. You see, after leaving his career as a teacher, Kumar began his reign of crime by targeting women who were looking for marriage. Many of these women came from modest backgrounds, and according to investigators, he would spend weeks or even months building a relationship with them. And remember, to a lot of people, he didn't seem dangerous. Anyways, while Kumar was trying to build his relationship with these women, he would tell them exactly what they would want to hear. He would tell them that he loved them, that he wanted to marry them, and that they could start a new life together. And he told them all these things so that by the time that he proposed, many of his victims would completely trust him. And honestly, I would too. And investigators also believed that they would as well. Because remember, his background as a teacher helped him appear calm, patient, and convincing. And teaching requires communication, confidence, and the ability to gain people's trust. And these are qualities that prosecutors later argued that he exploited for his own benefit. But let's go back to Kumar, because after he proposed, he would obviously start planning a wedding. And once the wedding plans were finalized, Kumar would actually tell the woman they needed to keep the relationship a secret until the ceremony. Now that seems very odd, because when you're getting married, you want to tell everybody because it's very exciting news. But then your spouse tells you that you have to keep it a secret. Now, of course, you're gonna go along with it because you love that person and you trust that person and they don't think that it's anything bad. Maybe you're just planning a big surprise. And that's where things get worse. The trust ends up leading to other things happening, because this is where the final step of his plan came in. Kumar would hand them a pill that would prevent pregnancy, explaining that they shouldn't become pregnant and have a kid before the marriage because it would create problems with their families. And since he has built this trust from his background of being a school teacher, the woman had no reason to question him. I mean, after all, he was someone they believed they were about to marry with a very, very good background of being a teacher. So these women would then take that pill that would prevent pregnancy, but instead the pill capsule contained cyanide. And after taking it, the victims became seriously ill very quickly. And Kumar would leave the area before anyone realized what had happened, making the deaths appear sudden and at first unrelated. And after Kumar did this, he stole the woman's jewelry, cash, and other valuables before disappearing and beginning the same exact process on someone else. And for years, investigators struggled with this case. I mean, the victims lived in different areas. The deaths often appeared isolated, and there was rarely anyone who knew about the supposed relationship because Kumar had convinced many of the women to keep it a secret. But eventually, police noticed a disturbing pattern. Multiple women had died under nearly identical circumstances, shortly after meeting a man who promised to marry them. And as investigators compared evidence case after case, they realized they weren't looking at random deaths anymore. They were hunting a serial killer. And then Kumar was eventually arrested in 2009. Investigators accused him of murdering numerous women using the same carefully planned method. And during the investigation, police recovered jewelry and other belongings that allegedly belonged to several victims. And them recovering all while this helped them connect him to multiple crimes. He was later convicted in multiple murder cases and sentenced to life imprisonment. And what makes this story especially unsettling isn't just the crimes themselves. It's the fact that Kumar had once been entrusted with teaching young children. Teachers are literally expected to guide others and set an example for their communities. And instead, prosecutors said he used that image of being educated, trustworthy, and respectable to manipulate people for years before anyone realized who he really was. This is honestly just another reminder that sometimes the most dangerous people don't look dangerous at all. But this next teacher is especially disturbing because her victims were the young children she was supposed to protect. And her name was Wang Yun, and she worked as a kindergarten teacher in Henan province, China. And like thousands of other kindergarten teachers, parents trusted her to take care of their children while they were at school. But what parents didn't know is that behind the scenes, tensions had been building between Wang Yun and one of her co-workers. According to investigators, the two teachers had gotten into an argument that eventually turned into a bitter dispute. And rather than resolving the conflict, prosecutors said Wang Yun decided to get revenge in the worst way imaginable. You see, in March of 2019, she carried out a plan that would shock the entire country. That morning, Wang Yun secretly added sodium nitrite, a toxic chemical, to the breakfast being served to another teacher's class. And the children obviously had absolutely no idea that anything was wrong. And as they finished eating, many of them suddenly began vomiting and complaining that they felt extremely sick. Teachers and emergency responders rushed the children to nearby hospitals as parents desperately tried to figure out what had happened. And in total, 25 children were poisoned, and doctors worked hard to stabilize them. And thankfully, most eventually recovered. But tragically, one young boy remained hospitalized for months after suffering severe complications. And despite extensive medical treatment, he later died from the effects of the poisoning. Police quickly launched an investigation, and thankfully, it didn't take long before evidence pointed directly toward Wang Yun. Surveillance footage, witness statements, and the investigation led authorities to conclude that she had deliberately contaminated the children's food following the dispute with her co-worker. And here's another shocking thing. During the investigation, authorities actually discovered that this wasn't the first time that Wang Yun had used sodium nitrate. She had actually used sodium nitrate in the exact same way as before, to retaliate after an argument, although the earlier incident didn't result in serious injuries like the current one. Anyways, as you can imagine, Wang Yun's trial literally attracted attention across all of China. Prosecutors argued that an argument between co-workers could never justify putting dozens of innocent children's lives at risk. And of course, the court agreed, finding Wang Yun guilty. And in 2020, she was sentenced to death. And this case is very, very crazy. But what honestly makes this case especially horrifying compared to the other ones we've already looked at is that kindergarten teachers are often among the first adults that parents have to learn to trust with their children. I mean, kindergarten is the very first grade your kid will go into. And these families left their sons and daughters in Wang Yun's care, believing that they would be protected, comforted, and kept safe. But instead, Wang Yun betrayed that trust in one of the worst ways imaginable, forever changing the lives of dozens of families over an argument that had nothing to do with the children themselves. And that is honestly very sad. Now, all the teachers we have looked at so far have been elementary school teachers, but this next teacher wasn't an elementary school teacher. He was a university professor, and his name was Ted Kaczynski. And long before the world knew him as Unabomber, he was considered one of the brightest mathematicians in America. Yeah, and you're probably wondering, why does he have the nickname Unabomber? Well, we'll get to that soon. You see, Ted Kaczynski graduated from Harvard University and earned a PhD in mathematics. And at just 25 years old, he became an assistant professor at the University of California in Berkeley, making him one of the youngest professors the university had ever hired. To his students, he was incredibly intelligent, but also extremely quiet and reserved. Now, he wasn't the type of professor who joked around or connected much with his class. Instead, he kept to himself, taught mathematics, and lived what appeared to be the life of a successful academic. But after only 2 years of teaching, he suddenly quit. And there wasn't really any notice either. He literally left his job without much explanation and disappeared from the academic world, eventually moving into a remote cabin in Montana with no electricity or running water, which is very odd. And what's even odder is that in 1978, a series of deadly bomb attacks began appearing across the United States. And for nearly 20 years, the person responsible mailed or delivered homemade bombs to different victims, killing 3 people and injuring 23 others. And because many of the attacks targeted universities, 1970s, investigators gave the unknown suspect the nickname Unabomber. Now, the FBI spent almost 2 decades trying to identify him, making it one of the largest investigations in the Bureau's history. But finally, everything came to an end in 1996 when Kaczynski's own brother recognized his writing in a published manifesto, and then he alerted authorities. Investigators confirmed the connection, arrested Ted Kaczynski at his remote cabin, and later sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And obviously, what makes this case so shocking is that before becoming one of America's most infamous domestic terrorists, Ted Kaczynski stood in front of college classrooms teaching advanced mathematics. His students saw him as a brilliant professor, but he was mailing those same university students bombs. Yeah, that's pretty actually insane, I'm not gonna lie. But this next teacher was extremely evil, like even more evil than the other ones, because she didn't carry out the murders herself. She instead manipulated teenagers into doing it for her. Her name was Pamela Smart, and Pamela Smart wasn't so smart. You see, she worked as a media coordinator at a high school in New Hampshire, and while working there, she did something completely illegal and began a relationship with a student that was 15 named Billy Flynn. According to prosecutors, she became unhappy in her marriage and convinced Billy, the person she was in a illegal relationship with, that the only way they could be together was if her husband, Greg Smart, was gone. And this is where the manipulation begins, because Billy ended up recruiting several of his teenage friends to kill Greg. You see, together they broke into Greg's home, and when he arrived, he was shot and killed. And because the group was teenagers and they were freaking out because of what they just did and realized it was stupid, they tried to stage the scene to look like a burglary. But the plan quickly fell apart. And when the teenagers confessed and actually testified against Pamela, they said that she had manipulated them into carrying out the crime, which is completely true, but the teenagers still shouldn't have gone along with it. Anyways, in 1991, Pamela was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and accomplice to first-degree murder, and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And as for the students, they did get punished, but they actually ended up cooperating with the police to help with the investigation and secretly recorded conversations with Pamela. Essentially, Billy Flynn and his friends accepted plea deals and testified against Pamela and told the police that she actually orchestrated everything. But this next teacher didn't target her students. Instead, she turned on the very co-workers that she had worked hard alongside for years. And this evil teacher's name was Amy Bishop. Now, Amy Bishop was a respected biology professor at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. And in early of 2010, she had learned that she had been denied tenure. And what is tenure, you ask? Well, that is a decision that meant her time at the university was coming to an end. And although she appealed that decision, it was ultimately upheld. And this is where Amy Bishop got very mad, because on February 12th of 2010, Bishop attended what appeared to be a normal faculty meeting with other biology professors. And as the meeting was coming to an end, Amy Bishop decided to take out her anger on everybody, and she suddenly pulled out a handgun and opened fire on the people sitting around the conference table. Yeah, she clearly has some issues. Anyways, the room erupted into a panic as professors dove for cover and tried to escape. Now, some professors attempted to stop her while others rushed to help the injured. But unfortunately, by the time the attack was over, 3 faculty members had lost their lives and 3 others had been seriously injured. Bishop was taken into custody a short time later, and investigators searched for a motive, with many focusing on the recent tenure decision, which is actually the reason why she ended up doing it. She was about to lose her job, and the way she decided to cope with that was to harm other people. I don't know why, but that's what she decided to do. Anyways, she was later convicted of capital murder and attempted murder and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The shooting remains one of the deadliest acts of workplace violence ever carried out in an American university. And I'm not gonna lie, she is definitely an evil teacher, because if you're getting fired at some place, you shouldn't take it out on people like that. I don't understand why she did that. I don't think anybody does, but she's at least in jail. She wasn't the only professor, though, who brought violence into the very university where they worked, because this next professor did the same thing, and his name was Valerie Fabricant. Now, Valerie Fabricant was an engineering professor at Concordia University in Montreal, Canada, and while he was known for being intelligent and accomplished in his field, he also had a reputation for constantly clashing with other professors and university staff. Over the years, he filed numerous complaints, accused his colleagues of stealing his his research and believed the university was treating him unfairly. The disputes actually became so frequent that many of the people around him considered him extremely difficult to work with. But as the years went on, the situation only became worse. You see, Fabrikant claimed that the other faculty members were actually conspiring against him and blocking his entire career. His relationships with coworkers completely broke down, creating an atmosphere of constant tension inside the engineering department. And all this buildup of emotions leads us to August 24th of 1992, where everything changes. Fabrikant arrived on campus carrying multiple firearms and made his way into the university's engineering building. And instead of attending another meeting or confronting administrators with more complaints, he began searching for the coworkers who he believed had wronged him. He then proceeded to open fire inside the department, targeting fellow faculty members. Panic then spread, of course, throughout the building as professors and staff scrambled to escape or hide. And unfortunately, by the time the police had arrived, 4 professors had been killed, while other university employees had been seriously injured. And this attack stunned not only Concordia University, but all of Canada. It raised major concerns about workplace violence at universities and whether the warning signs leading up to the shooting had been ignored. And because of this, many people later questioned whether the years of escalating conference, threatening behavior, and repeated disputes should have prompted stronger action before the tragedy occurred. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if I was in the workplace and somebody had some built-up emotions about something going on in the workplace, you would definitely need to talk to somebody. But nobody considered that for him. Anyways, Fabrikant was thankfully arrested at the scene without further violence. And during his trial, he attempted to defend his actions. Yeah, he decided to defend his murdering actions because he argued that corruption and unfair treatment at the university had pushed him to his breaking point. I don't know why he would do that, because of course the jury rejected those arguments and he was convicted of multiple counts of first-degree murder along with other serious offenses. He received a life sentence with no possibility of parole for 25 years. And decades later, the Concordia shooting is still remembered as one of the deadliest attacks ever carried out by a university professor against his own colleagues, and remains a tragic example of how years of unsolved workplace conflict can end in unimaginable violence. Anyways, those are some of the most evil teachers to ever exist. There are definitely a ton more. These are the most evil parents ever. Now, as we all know, parents are supposed to protect you, guide you through life, and love you. But what happens when they do the opposite? What happens when the very people you're meant to trust become the reason for fear, pain, and trauma? Well, today we're investigating the disturbing world of evil parents, and some of these stories prove that some parents shouldn't have kids in the first place. Now, our first evil parent situation starts with a report card. Now, if you don't know what a report card is, it is a sheet that has your final grades for the year, semester, whatever type of system you have in school. But imagine you just get your report card back and you have all A's, except in one class. And this one class, you actually didn't fail, you have a B in. Now, that doesn't seem bad, right? Well, actually, all of a sudden, your parents see that one B and they start getting really mad at you. Let's take a look.
The worst parents of
Here we
all
go.
time. When this girl was 11, she was a straight A student, and it was her best friend's birthday party coming up, and she was so very excited. Well, report cards came in one day, and turns out she got a B in one of her classes.
Okay.
Well, her parents were pissed. They grounded her on the spot, and they
What?
told her that she couldn't go to her best friend's birthday party. She told her best friend's mom what happened. Her best friend's mom knew how tough it was for her at home, because she was constantly being yelled at, belittled, and hit by her parents all the time.
What?
So on the day of the party, right before it was gonna start, her best friend's mom drove to her house, barged in the door, and said this: "Sweetie, hi, I need you to get ready, pack a bag, you're coming to my daughter's party, and you're spending the night, okay? Quick, let's go. Excuse me, you are not taking my daughter anywhere. She is grounded and staying home tonight." "Oh, is that so? Well, how about I call Child Protective Services on you for the 50 cats pissing and in your house?"
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Have a great night.
Dang. Okay. That's crazy. Yo, shout out to that girl's best friend's mom. All right. She's the GOAT. Saving her from that bad situation. Because that's insane. She literally got grounded for having one B on a report card. I'm not going to lie. I didn't do the best in school. Let's just say I was like, getting B's and C's. One time I I got an F. Keep a good education, guys. But I was never grounded for that. I got my video games taken away when I got the F, which was understandable. But I never got grounded, like I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. But not to mention, that girl only didn't just get grounded. She was constantly getting belittled, made fun of, and abused by her parents. Like, what the heck is going on? And then did you see that other part of the TikTok? This part right here.
Oh, is that so? Well, how about I call Child Protective Services on you for the 50 cats pissing and in your house?
Wow. Like, bro, there was literally cat pee and poop everywhere. And not just one cat. 50 cats. That's insane. Honestly, that person shouldn't be living in that house. That's kind of gross and not a good living situation. But if you thought that was bad, it gets worse. You see, a lot of kids are actually unfortunate and they're missing a parent in their life. Some people may be missing a mom, some people may be missing a dad, or even both parents. Now, as sad as that is, not many of these kids actually witness their parents picking up and leaving. Oh, and most people are actually missing their dads. I mean, have you ever heard of that legendary joke? My dad went to go get the milk. Well, that's based on the fact that lots of kids are actually missing their dad. But anyways, back to what I was saying about no kid has ever seen their parent actually leaving. This girl actually witnessed her dad getting up and leaving.
How can a parent just walk away from their child?
I don't know.
My dad just randomly abandoned me when I was 14 just because he couldn't be bothered to raise a child.
What?
He chose substance over me.
Okay, that's
he
blurred.
Only would visit me once a month for half an hour. His apologies were lame excuses. He would never take accountability for his actions.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually really sad. Like, imagine bringing a child into this world and then all of a sudden you're like, yo, I'm out. And you choose some like really bad stuff over your child. Like, come on, bro. I wouldn't say this parent is as evil as the other ones, but this situation is really like unfortunate. This kid was 14. So like they have a lot of like thoughts going on. They're growing up, going through phases and everything. And an important figure in their life just dips. Like that. Bro, come on. Be a man, go home and raise your child. But like I said, that last one wasn't that evil. That was kind of just like sad and disappointing. This next one is actually really sad, but also really evil too. Because this one is actually about a parent getting jealous of their child's fame.
The Most Evil Parents, Part 1.
Here we go.
Judith Ava Barcy. You may know her as the voice actor of Ducky from The Land Before Time.
Whoa. Ducky from The Land Before Time. Hold up. Land Before Time. 1988? Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, that is the oldest thing ever. I do not know her at all. He said, you might know this person from this movie. Nobody was alive back then, Unk.
Or in some of her acting roles. Judith's career started booming and she became very popular. As her career was taking off, her father became very jealous and abusive. He would put his hands on her.
Like what? Like why? Why is this always happening? As her career took off, her father got jealous. Like, you should be happy for your kid, bro.
He would put his hands on her and her mom and threaten to kill all of them. And
what?
He became paranoid and a huge alcoholic. Judith would complain to the neighbors that he was throwing pots and pans at her. Due to her being abused, she showed signs of weird behavior. She would pluck out her own eyebrows, pluck out her cat's whiskers, and she started to gain a lot of weight.
Yo, that's insane. What? Okay, those past 5 seconds just gave us a buttload of information. That's crazy. She was getting pots and pans thrown at her. What the heck? Why? Be happy for your child's success. But not only that, because of all that trauma, she started plucking out her eyebrows and then her cat's whiskers. What did the cat do? Come on now. What did the cat do? Why do you need to torture the cat now?
One day she broke down on set while auditioning for All Dogs Go to Heaven. Her agent sent her to a child psychologist, and they said there was extreme mental and physical abuse. Her mom promised Child Protective Services and her friends that she was going to divorce her husband soon. Judith was last seen riding her bike. Her father shot her and her mom when they were asleep.
What? Oh my goodness. Yo, why are we going from 0 to 100 like that? Like, yo, what the heck? We went from her mom was promising the protective services that she would like leave with her child. And then all of a sudden we're to both of them were shot and killed. What the heck? That's insane. Why would this guy do this?
Sometimes even the people closest to you can be jealous of you. Rest in peace to this beautiful rising sun.
Yeah, rest in peace. That's insane, bro. Like, why? Why would this guy do this? That's an evil parent. That's 1,000,000% an evil parent. But if you thought that one was dark, wow, we're about to get even darker because apparently this next mother is the most evil mother in history. Or that's what the video says. It could be lying, but we're gonna take a look at it.
This is the most evil mother in history. Her name was Mary. She raised her son, Ethan, all by herself. And for years, they were very close. But as Ethan grew older, he started to drift away, and that left Mary feeling abandoned.
I mean, okay, that's a little bit normal. Like, if you're a child and you grow up, it's normal to drift away from your parents and for them to feel a little bit abandoned. But I'm assuming that feeling of abandonment probably caused this evil mother to go crazy.
Ethan turned 23. He got married. A year later, his child, Luca, was born. The first time Mary held the baby in her arms, a twisted thought took root in her mind.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, this is bad. Now a baby's involved and this mother has a twisted thought. That could only lead to something evil.
She wanted to be the boy's mother, not his grandmother.
So no. Bro, come on. Like, what is wrong with people? What do you mean you want to be the baby boy's mother? You're like 80 years old. Oh my goodness. What does she do? Does she kill the son's wife or something?
She volunteered to take care of the child while secretly planning to get rid of her daughter-in-law, Catherine.
Wow.
Pretending to care for her, Mary fed her supplements every day until one.
You're lying. It'd be the people closest to you. Like, that's crazy. Are we serious? What is wrong with this person? Like, genuinely, why would you do that?
Supplements every day until one morning, Catherine suddenly died. After that, Mary began to brainwash Ethan, repeating again and again, "The child is so little. It's too sad for him to grow up without a mother. Let me be his mom." In his grief and confusion, Ethan eventually gave in. Mary thought her secret would never be discovered. But when Luca turned 5, the teacher gave the children an assignment to draw a picture of their mom. While every other child drew a young woman, Luca drew an old lady with wrinkled skin and gray hair. The teacher asked softly, "Who is this?" And Luca smiled and said, "That's my mom, and she's also my grandma." This is the most
Wow. That one's crazy, bro. Like, you gotta be some sort of, like, twisted and evil person to do that, which this mother is. Wow. That's insane. Like, why would you do that? This parent and the last parent were both evil because of jealousy. Why are we jealous? Just be happy for other people. I don't understand. But this is where it starts getting super dark. Like it literally gets worse. And by the way, the level of worse I'm talking about, we're going from 0 to 100. We're not just talking about only one evil parent now. Because imagine you were actually held captive by both of your parents for 13 years. Yeah, that's a long freaking time to be held captive. And this one also is a true story. I'm not exactly sure about the last one we just watched. I don't know if that was a true story or not, but this one is actually a true story because I'm not even kidding. Right before I hit record on this video, I was scrolling on Instagram and I got a reel about this. Here we go.
These two insane parents held their 13 kids captive for years. In the suburbs of Texas, David and Louise Turnpin lived with their kids. They taught their kids from home, and their house was even registered as a school. And they
Oh, okay. This is crazy, but her voice is making me annoyed.
These kids were held captive for 13 years. And their names were David and Lauren Summer. And they had lived in Texas for years.
Like, shut up! Sorry, I had to crash out real quick.
These two insane parents held their 13 kids captive for years. In the suburbs of Texas, David and Louise Turnpin lived with their kids. They taught their kids from home, and their house was even registered as a school. And they seemed like a normal family. The kids played with their neighbors, and they were outside too. But there was also strange behavior noticed by the neighbors, like the kids digging through their trash cans.
What? Why are they digging through their trash cans? Or sorry, why were
the kids digging through their trash cans?
Marching in circles. Once the oldest
nope, they have a cult. They have a cult. Why are the kids marching in circles, bro? This nope.
daughter was found running down the street in a panic. She was driven back to her house under the assumption that due to her odd behavior, she was mentally unwell. All of the kids were moved to Oceanside, California after that. Just a week later, a 17-year-old called the police and said that all of her siblings were being held captive in a house she escaped from. And you won't believe what the police found inside. Follow for part 2.
Are we serious? Follow for part 2? No! First... okay.
You won't believe what the police found inside.
I would like for you to tell me, but now I have to go looking for a part 2. Are we serious? And my scroll bar isn't even working. All right, let's scroll together, guys, and look for this part 2. Oh my gosh, I'm genuinely gonna crash out. Where's part 2? I found it. Oh my gosh, I finally found it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That took so freaking long. All right.
Held their children captive for 13 years, part 2.
Guys, don't worry.
Part 2. We're watching part 2.
Those 13 kids were found chained up in a cellar below the basement when the police arrived at the home.
Oh,
7 of them were actually adults, though. The age ranged from 2 to 29. The 29-year-old only weighed 81 pounds.
What? Oh my goodness. That's insane.
That's how malnourished they were. All 13 of them were thought to be kids at first because of that. So it turns out the kids weren't allowed any contact with the outside world. They were only allowed to shower once a year and eat once a day, and they were completely—
What? Oh, I know that cellar that they were found in stank. Shower once a year? Oh, nah, that's crazy. Dude, this is a different level of evil. Like, this is an insane level of evil. And they were only allowed to eat once a day? Like, what? You're supposed to eat 3 meals a day.
Held captive by their parents. The Turnpin parents could not give any explanation for their horrific actions. There's no chance of them getting out of jail. They're rotting in there forever.
Good. They deserve that, because what the heck is that? Why? Why would you even do that? Actually, they can't even give us an explanation according to this lady. She literally said,
the Turnpin parents have no explanation to their horrific actions.
So there's no explanation to why they did that. They just did it. Oh, let's do it for the love of the game. Like, why? Why? Oh my gosh. Me reacting to evil parents is spiking my cortisol. It's making me angry. But anyways, that next story was on the news. It was a true story. It was viral everywhere. But this next one actually went so viral that a movie or a TV show, some sort of media was made about it. It was that dark. That's how dark and evil this person's parents were. All right. This one's dark. Like, actually, like, warning, by the way.
This father was one of the most twisted and cruel men the world has ever known.
Oh,
In
man.
1984, an 18-year-old girl named Elizabeth was helping her father put up a new door in their basement. As she reached for a tool and turned her head, he suddenly attacked her. He held a cloth with a strong chemical over her face until she passed out. When she woke
Like, bro, why are we doing that? Why? That's your daughter. Oh, what the heck? What the frick is this? Sorry, I got distracted and I saw some ugly people looking at me.
up, she was locked underground, trapped behind a thick, soundproof steel door. No way to escape. Her father told
that's
everyone
insane.
she had run away to join a cult, but the truth was horrifying. She was being kept just under their feet for 24 years. He came down almost every day. He did to her again and again. Elizabeth gave birth to 7 children. 3 of them
What?
were taken upstairs and raised by his wife, who believed they were abandoned. But the other 3, they grew up in total darkness. No sunlight, no school, no contact with the outside world. Then, one day, one of the children, Kirsten, got very sick. Elizabeth begged her father to take her to the hospital. Doctors noticed something strange. The girl was weak, confused, and had no medical records at all. When Elizabeth was brought in, she saw her chance. She told them everything. That same day, police found the secret basement. Her father was arrested and sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah, good. That he deserves that. I don't even need to talk about this anymore. You can already tell how evil this guy is, how dark that story is. And yes, it is a true story because movies were made about it. Oh my gosh. On to the next one though. This one I'm gonna try and up in the mood because I feel like we're in a very dark mood right now because of what we've been watching. Anyways, if you're like me, you love eating. I literally love eating. So if you're like me, you probably love eating too. I eat snacks all the time. I eat meals all the freaking time. I love food. Now that was a little burst of positivity, right? Yeah, well now it's gonna get dark again because guess what? These parents actually starved this child. Like, why? Why are we doing this? Oh my gosh.
Her parents starved her so she could be their little girl forever. Now I
What?
want you to look at this girl and I want you to comment how old you think she is, okay?
Okay.
Here's another.
All right, based off the gymnastics uniform and the ballet uniform, I'm gonna say 8 to 12. Okay, I actually gotta pick one. Let's go in the middle, 10. I'm gonna say 10. Let me know in the comments how old you think she is.
Photo of her.
Here's another
Comment,
photo.
and then I'll tell you how old she was.
Okay.
She was 16.
What?
In this photo. And
What? She literally looks like a 10-year-old because of how like skinny and small she is. What the heck?
she weighed 60 pounds. Officials warned
Gang, the last time I weighed 60 pounds, I think I was like 6 years old. Like maybe not even. I don't know. I was a pretty chubby kid, but like genuinely, what the freak?
she could pass from this, and her dad dismissed it, saying that they were crazy. But like that actually is the reason. Like they wanted her to stay their little girl forever. Like ew, what? And that's why they put her on this crazy diet.
What happened to her? Hello? I'm looking at the comments and nobody knows what happened to her. Is she still like freaking being starved? That's insane. Why would we do that? Let your children eat. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I'm getting angry over this video, like genuinely. That one was really creepy though. Like, we're gonna starve our child, make sure she's our little girl forever. Like, what the heck? What is wrong with you? But if you thought that was creepy, imagine this. You wake up one day thinking it's just a normal day, right? You come downstairs, you see your parents, and everything seems fine at first, but then you start noticing that something is completely off. I'm just gonna play the video.
This is the scariest story about the new parents, and it's absolutely chilling. There was a kid named Michael.
Yo, hold on a second. Why the frick is this guy not blinking?
Story about the new parents.
Yo, this guy's not blinking and it's creeping me out.
And it's absolutely chilling. There was a kid named Michael who was coming downstairs for breakfast one morning.
Okay.
When he sat down at the table to eat, his mom and dad both looked at him and said good morning. Michael then said good morning back, but they continued to talk to him. Michael then noticed that something just wasn't right. He noticed his parents were never this nice, especially in the morning.
Oh no.
He then asked them if they were okay, and they both looked at him with a smile on their face and said, yes, honey, of course we are.
No, those are some demons or some skinwalkers or something, because what is this?
Michael then finished breakfast and went back upstairs. But as he was walking back to his room, he noticed that one of the hallway doors was cracked open a little bit. Michael then went over to close it when he suddenly smelled something absolutely terrible.
Oh no.
He then opened the door, and what he saw made his stomach drop to the floor. Inside were his mom and dad's dead body with their throats slit and multiple stab wounds all around their body.
What?
Michael then heard a voice behind him say, you were never supposed to see that. Now we have to do it to you.
What? Oh no. That actually just gave me the chills. Oh my. Yo, I'm locking my door, bro. Heck no. Nope. Yep, I'm locking my door. Heck no. What the heck? Bro, that's creepy. Like, what? I mean, obviously the Michael dude came out alive because he was able to tell the story. But what? What I'm trying to wonder is how the killers of his original parents ended up looking exactly like his original parents. Like, how did they do that? You know what? I'll leave that one up to you guys to decide. But anyways, more evil parent stories, because we all know that parents are supposed to be honest with us and protect us, right? But imagine finding out something you've believed your entire life was actually a lie, and not just something small. This lie would be so huge that the truth actually comes out, and when it comes out, it changes the way you see everything forever. And that's exactly what happens in this next story. Here we go.
What's the most evil thing your parents did to you as a child? When I was 11, my parents convinced me I was going blind.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry I keep pausing, but why is the music so upbeat when we're talking about like traumatic stuff? Listen.
What's the most evil thing your parents did to you as a child? When I was 11, my parents convinced me I was going blind. They started by telling me I was spending too much time on my computer and my eyes would be damaged. I didn't believe them, so they took me to an eye doctor. I didn't know it at the time, but they had paid the doctor to lie to me. He told me I had a rare condition that would make me go blind within a year if I didn't stop using electronics. I was terrified, and my parents took away all my devices. I wasn't even allowed to watch TV. I spent the next year thinking I was going blind. I even learned Braille and started using a cane. I was so scared that I would wake up one day and not be able to see. After a year, my parents took me back to the doctor. He told me that my condition had miraculously disappeared and I was fine. I was so relieved, but I didn't realize what had actually happened until years later. I was talking to my mom about it, and she admitted that they had made the whole thing up. They wanted me to stop using electronics, and they thought this was the best way to do it. I was furious. I couldn't believe they had put me through all of that just to get me to stop using my computer. I still have trust issues because of it.
That's insane. What? Okay, if you want your child to just stop using electronics, simply ask. You know, I'm not a parent, so I don't know how that works, but like whenever my mom asked me to get off my electronics, I'd be like, no, and then she would give me a time limit, and then I would get off after that. Why not do that? Why do we gotta make a lie up to a child saying they're gonna go blind if they keep using it? And they also paid a professional eye doctor. Fire that guy, because that's crazy. What the heck? Oh my gosh, these stories are getting insane, and I have another one for you. Because listen, we've all been tempted to open up a Christmas present early, right? I actually have one time, and it was a bad idea because my mom was really sad afterwards. I'm sorry, mom, if you're watching this. But for this person, their mom probably wasn't only just sad. Because imagine making that mistake of opening a Christmas present early, and instead of getting grounded or making your mom sad, your mom actually decides to call the cops on you. You know what? Just look at this.
The worst parents of all time. This happened in the 90s. It was a couple days before Christmas, and this 12-year-old kid had found one of his presents that was hidden in his parents' closet. So he opened it.
Wow.
Oh my God. A Game Boy. Steven? What did you do? I'm so sorry, I just found this present and I really wanted to open it so bad, but it's a Game Boy, thank you so much. Is it Christmas, Steven? Is it Christmas? No? Exactly. Go sit in the living room, we'll be there in a second. His mom then called the police and told them, "Hi, yeah, my son opened one of his Christmas gifts early. It wasn't even his yet, it was mine, and he opened it early. Can you send someone here, please?" The crazy part is the police actually showed up.
Why?
They arrested this kid and charged him with petty larceny. You can't make this stuff up.
What? You're lying. There's no way. That's insane. There's no way the police would actually show up to that. But apparently they did, and then they arrested the kid. Why did he just got trauma for life? Oh my goodness, that's insane. Like, that was just like, come on. Like, why? Why are you being, like, you just chose to be evil. Like, what the heck is that? Oh my goodness. All right, well, what would you do if while you were sleeping, something crawled into your bed, started laying eggs, and wouldn't stop tormenting you? Me personally, I'm packing up and I'm leaving. And I'm not just leaving to a new house, I'm leaving to a whole nother country or another planet, because that just sounds terrifying. But apparently for this girl right here, it doesn't seem like she's gonna be moving out, because there's clearly something that's crawling into her bed at night. And based off that thumbnail, I think this is gonna be really terrifying. I'm not exactly sure if this is real or not, but let's go ahead and watch. All right. Oh, what the heck is that?
If this kid actually went.
Whoa. What the heck? Oh, what the heck is that? Oh!
If this kid actually went missing, then the police should be on it. Or the FBI.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh my God.
What the heck was that?
Well, what's the harm in us going to this place just to check it out?
There's probably nothing in there besides garbage and rats.
Yo, I don't know what type of rat that thing is, but that is disgusting.
Happy Land?
What? Ooh! What the?
You gotta save me. I'm pregnant.
What?
I don't want to have his baby.
Whose baby?
Oh, no! Oh, no! Yo, she needs to be left in there. That is disgusting. Oh, what is that?
Please, he kept me in here for years.
What?
My family is so worried about me.
Ew! Oh!
What the heck?
That is not a rat, bro. Oh, no. Oh! Oh! Okay, nope. If I'm waking up in the middle of the night because something's crawling in my bed and I see that in the corner of the darkness, no.
What do you want?
Okay, bro. Why are we oh my gosh.
Tristan, you gotta get me out of here. You gotta get me out of here.
Bro, his friend got kidnapped? Uh-oh. Oh! Yo, I don't know what's going on with these life of luxury people. Y'all need to stop investigating this stuff.
So for this episode, we received an email from a boy whose best friend, Mikey, recently went missing after exploring an abandoned house.
All right, so I'm assuming they just didn't decide to call the police and they just decided, oh, I'm gonna message these people. Call the police! But based off what I've seen, I don't think the police, yo, you just need, bro, you need Jesus at that point. Like, I don't even know what else you need.
Apparently, Mikey heard a rumor that this house in the middle of the woods was haunted, and he wanted to see for himself.
All right, okay, so Mikey's a freaking idiot, bro. If there's a haunted house, you know, he deserves what happened to him.
Arriving at the house, Mikey said that it sounded like there was people screaming in the basement.
And he still went to investigate.
Also mentioned several others in the area have disappeared, and he thinks it has something to do with this house. He also sent us this video, which is apparently the last thing Mikey sent him before going inside.
Oh. Dude!
Is anyone down here?
Yes, somebody giggled. Of course there's somebody down there. Okay. Listen, bro. If I'm in a haunted place...
Oh my god.
Nope. What the heck is that? Bro, why, are these people idiots? If you see something disgusting and you hear screaming, you hear giggling, you see something peeking out of the corner like that, like a swamp monster that hasn't looked like it showered, I'm going the other way. Why are these people just standing here and recording it? Okay, no. Why are we running to... Did this guy just run towards the monster?
Oh my god.
This dude didn't even turn around. He went towards the freaking monster. This kid deserves whatever happened to him, like actually.
So tonight, we're going to drive out to this abandoned house and see what we can find. But first, a quick word from our sponsor.
All right, bro, I don't care about your sponsor. I want to see what happened to this kid.
All I'm saying is if this kid actually went missing, then the police should be on it. Or the FBI.
I agree.
Well, what's the harm in us going to this place just to check it out?
Because it's an abandoned house. There's probably nothing in there besides garbage and rats.
I've already watched one of these guys' videos. This guy on the left, he always seems to have the right idea. Like, yo, use our common sense. A police should be involved. The FBI should be involved. And then this guy's like, nah. Let's take it into our own hands and die.
The email we got said a bunch of people around this place have gone missing. You don't think that's suspicious?
You don't think we should go investigate?
I don't want to spend the night there. Let's just look around for a little, then get a hotel or something.
All right, we'll see.
Dude. These people are cooked. Based off what I saw in the intro, these people are cooked. And the drive there looks terrifying as well. Why didn't we go in the daytime? Why are we going at night? Like...
Your destination is on the right.
Oh, watch. It's about to be some beat up looking building. It's about to be a whole red flag. Like, yep.
Dude,
okay.
This place is falling apart.
Tell me if you look at that.
You're go in there?
Who decides to go inside that house if you're looking at that? Like, are we serious?
Yes. Come on.
Oh no.
I'm scared.
Like, this house looks like bad news. Why would you even go inside? Oh my gosh. Somebody's gonna like reach out the lock. Hello? Hello? No, sir. There's something in there. Oh my gosh. Somebody's about to go like right past the camera and crawl. Yep. Oh my gosh. Nope. Nope. Why are we still going? What the heck is that? I don't like. Was that a tail? Was that a tentacle? Was that somebody's leg? Why are we investigating further if we see that? Oh my god.
Dude, I think there's a snake in here.
That's not a snake, buddy. The snake doesn't go.
Let's go over here.
Oh, okay, there's not really anything bad over here. There's a free food sign. Not sure why that's like there. the heck? Are those clothes?
Put a camera over there.
Why? Why would you do that? There's something in there, obviously. 3 brothers gone missing. School teacher missing as well. Okay. And we got free food. Oh, hello, dude. Bro. Yo, how long has that McDonald's been sitting out, bro? And it's also in a ginormous rat trap. If this cameraman goes into the rat trap, he just deserves to die at that point. Like, you can't be that stupid. No way. Oh my gosh, this guy's an idiot. What are you doing?
Chester, what are you doing? Don't touch that.
Bro.
Touch that. I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't! Oh, he's cooked. Oh my.
Dude, what are you doing? That thing almost took my arm.
Yeah.
Why did you touch that thing? Whatever, just get up. Let's go set up the cameras.
It's a ginormous rat trap. Did you not? Are you blind? Like, oh my. Dude.
All right, let's set up some cameras.
All right, let's see. See what's happening.
Okay, come on.
Bro, like these people are just setting up cameras and like they're gonna die. We already saw some sort of creature and it's like, why aren't we leaving? And there's a giant rat trap. That's not normal. Uh-oh, what's about to happen? Oh no, it's the hamster wheel from the beginning of the video. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yo, if they haven't learned by now, I think using common sense, we would realize there's a ginormous rat creature.
I think this is just like an exercise wheel or something.
All right, bro. All right. This guy's an absolute idiot. I think it's an exercise wheel. What human goes on an exercise wheel? And there's a ginormous rat trap. It's a ginormous, monstrous, disgusting rat. Just link everything together. Bro, this guy's actually pissing me off. I think it's an exercise wheel.
You need to get one of these.
All right, bro.
I'll show you.
Oh my gosh, that's so loud.
It's pretty cool. I'm gonna put a camera in here though.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. Nope. Yeah, bro. All right. So, do we still think it's a human exercise wheel after seeing whatever the heck that is? What are those prints? That's like, ew. Uh-oh. It went inside there.
Dude, look at this.
Oh, why was he looking at me like that?
Dude.
Oh, and there's cheese right
What's
there.
going on?
Dude, I think there's a tunnel here.
Ew, bro. What? Don't tell me you guys are going in there. Oh no, something's gonna pop out.
What?
Oh my gosh. Why are we going in there? Bro. Oh my gosh. What the heck?
Let's go over here.
Like, what is this place? Why is there just a tunnel? What?
Bro,
Happy Land?
Happy Land?
What is that? What is Happy Land?
Let's see what's in there.
Huh?
Why would you go in a place called Happy Land? Clearly it's not happy. Oh my gosh. What the heck is this? Bro. What the? Nope.
Do you hear that?
Nope. Okay, listen, if I'm exploring an abandoned place and I hear some crying, I'm leaving. Actually, I wouldn't be exploring an abandoned place in the first place. I'm not an idiot. But if I hear some crying inside an abandoned building, gone.
It's coming from over here.
Oh my gosh, what is that? What is it gonna be? Who is it? Oh my gosh, it's gonna be the creature. Ah! Hello? Who's crying? What's happening? What? What is that? Is that pee? Oh no, it's like a drink. Oh my gosh. Oh dude. What the heck? Oh, wait, oh, it's a person. Okay. Who is it? Oh my gosh. Yo, chill. What the heck?
Oh, thank God. Sir, please, you gotta get me out of here. Please.
Okay, bro, why are there people in cages? Like, are we serious? What the heck? Nah. This is weird, bro. This is some like, bro, this is like a Diddy house. I'm not going, Diddy dungeon.
Please, help me. He's had me trapped here since I was 10 years old.
What? He's been trapped here since he was 10? What?
Wait, who's he?
No.
All right, bro. We're not gonna be like, yo, are you okay? Is everything okay? What's happening? After this guy's screaming and begging for help, you just go, wait, who's he? Show some like urgency, dude.
Please. You gotta save me. I'm pregnant.
I
don't want to have his baby.
Whose baby?
I don't want to have his baby.
All right, bro. If it's that creature, if the creature got this lady pregnant, let me just tell you this. She needs to die. If any of you guys have seen any of the Alien movies, there's this one Alien movie called Alien Romulus, and this one lady got pregnant with the alien creature. And then, editor, go ahead and just pop up a picture of what the baby ended up looking like. Yeah, it's some nightmare fuel. So this pregnant lady, I'm sorry, you gotta go.
Please.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
What are you talking about? Whose baby?
Please. He kept me in here for years.
What is that breathing?
He's so worried about me.
What is that breathing?
Please.
I heard. What the heck is that?
Just help me. Quick. Unlock me.
Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. What is that noise?
Yes. Get me out of here.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Do you hear that?
Please.
Okay, first of all, how do you expect them to let you out when they don't have the key? Well, what is that noise?
No, please.
Why are we leaving that?
No.
Oh my goodness. Why are we making so much noise? What is that squeaking? What is happening? Uh-oh.
Bro, wait.
Oh no. Over here. It's the exercise wheel. Oh no. Nope. Nope. The rat creature's here. Oh gosh.
What is that thing?
Nope. All right, bro. I'm not gonna lie. All those people in the cages can stay in there. I'm worrying about me and I'm leaving. Like, this thing is a human rat sort of creature. They have human legs, human arms, and a rat face and a tail. I don't know how this thing came to be, but I am not trying to be in there with it. What is that?
I don't know.
Be quiet, idiot. Why are we so loud?
Giant rat.
Oh my, and he stopped. Oh no.
Jesus. We should leave.
Yep, I would leave.
But what about the people in cages? We don't even know what that thing is.
Just leave.
What's it doing now?
It's right there. It's right there. It's right in front of him. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Dude, it's gone. I'm getting out of here.
Wait, we can't leave them. Chester.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What's happening? Oh, dude.
Wait, look.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna die.
What is it?
He's back in his room.
Who is? Ew.
Let's just hide somewhere and watch this thing for a bit.
No! This guy, you should not. Chester, I think that's the blonde guy's name. You should not be friends with this guy. This guy's bad news. He's trying to get you killed. But also, Chester's an idiot because he tried to get the free food. They're both idiots.
Come on.
Oh my gosh. What's happening? Hello? Dude,
All
this
right,
rat is
so
gross.
We're watching this thing in its room. Doesn't look like it's doing anything.
It's cleaning itself.
Wait,
oh, what
the TV's turning on.
Oh! Ew!
What is he watching?
Okay, bro. What the heck? Why is it like emoting?
It's just static.
Ew, bro.
He's moving now.
Oh no. Okay, all right, that's worse than I thought. That looks a lot worse than I actually thought it looked. Okay. I don't want to watch this anymore. I think I would leave. Like, honest, like, there's no saving those people. This thing isn't, like, what the heck is that? Oh my gosh, ew, bro. What the heck? Okay. Why is it back on the wheel?
Bro, look how it runs.
Ew. Dude, why are we still here? Why are we still watching it? Just leave. Uh-oh. Did it see the camera? Oh, it's grabbing water. Ugh. Ugh.
It looks like he's drinking water.
Alright, nope. No, what am I watching? This thing is disgusting. It's just still on the wheel. I would just take the opportunity now to go save the people, since we clearly want to do that so bad, or to run. But we're just sitting here watching. Ew. Oh no, it's about to go in there.
He's going somewhere.
Yeah, to you. Uh-oh. Yep, they're cooked. They're cooked. Yep.
Dude, did that thing just go in the closet?
No, it just went to where you guys are.
Gone.
Let's just wait.
He's where you are. Oh my. Bro. Top 10 idiots of all time. Uh-oh.
Bro, look. He's
what
back.
The heck? Oh, he saw the camera. Ew, 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 ew. Ah! What is happening? Oh! Oh! What the heck? Ew! What is happening?
I can't watch this anymore. That thing's horrifying.
Oh my gosh, what is it doing? What is it doing?
Where are you going?
What do you mean? He's leaving! Like he should be. Oh my gosh, what the heck is happening? Why are we still here? Just leave. Bro, oh my. This guy deserves anything that happens to him.
Chester.
Oh my gosh. Dude, you're gonna run into the monster. Wait, why did we split up? Oh my gosh. I have so many questions. Why would we split up, bro?
How do I get out of here?
I don't know. But you're cooked now. Oh, it looks grosser. Oh, it sees us. Bro. this guy's cooked. This guy's so cooked. Oh my gosh. Why would we split up? It's the worst thing you could ever do. What is that? Oh, it's a sheet. Oh my gosh. Oh no. It's gonna be here. Uh-oh. Oh, we're looking at the cheese that we saw earlier. Oh wait, look at the paintings. What? Ew. Oh my gosh, what the heck is that? That's disgusting. Okay, so it looks like some guy right here made this rat creature, and it was called Rat Boy, which is what the other picture showed. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it literally used to be a circus animal, but it got out of control. Oh, dude, what the heck? Ew. Bro, why would we make this? Whose grand idea was it to make a rat boy? Oh my gosh. Somebody's gonna die. Either Chester or the other dude. I think we came in from over there. Uh-oh. He's gonna go into the hallway with the rat. Nope. Alright, well, we know it's Rat Boy. Oh, wait. Wait, are there two of them? Oh my gosh, I think there's two, because that looks nothing like the other thing we saw. Unless that's the same? I have no idea. Is there two of them? If there is, that's insane. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nope.
What was that?
Run. Just run. Just run.
It was probably nothing.
Bro, he's cooked. He's cooked. Oh, no! Nope. Why are we just standing there? Look at that! Look! Okay. Nope. You should be running. You should be running. Oh, okay. Ew, bro! Run. Run! Why are we standing? Just run. You're cooked. You deserve everything that happens to you. What do you mean, what do you want? Oh! Oh.
Chester?
Yep. Yep. Okay, Parker, I would help him. Ew, bro! Ew! Oh my gosh! Okay, yep. Chester's cooked. Chester's cooked. Oh, is he being put in a cage? Oh my gosh, he just got put in a cage. Oh boy.
Chester? Chester?
Dude.
Parker!
Chester is in a cage. Oh my gosh. How is he gonna help Parker? Or how is he gonna help Chester? How is he gonna help him? He doesn't have the key. Oh,
Chester!
there he is.
Hurry, gotta get me out of here!
Yo, help him.
Oh my god, what happened to you? Hurry, no!
What do you mean, what? Dude! Just help him! Oh my gosh, you don't have the key. Oh, he's cooked. What is pulling it gonna do? Uh-oh. Oh, nah. Oh! Run! Oh my gosh, what is he doing? Oh! Okay, nope. This is gross. Nope. You got me messed up. You got me messed up if I'm staying in there. Yep, you're cooked. You're cooked. Go! Did they outrun it? How did he unlock it? I have so many questions. Oh my gosh. Nah, bro.
Dude,
Oh.
it's locked.
Okay. break the window, like your friend said, or you could have chosen any other room. You decide the one room that's locked. Oh my gosh. You're lying. Hurry! Alright, go. Leave, bro. This thing is disgusting. Wait, did his friend die? What? Is he good? Oh, they're good. Wait, so they're just leaving? We got back to our car and drove home. Well, what about the people in the cages? We emailed Patrick and said his friend might be in there because we found a bunch of people trapped in cages. Unfortunately, the last email Patrick sent to us said he was going in there to look for his friend himself. He wasn't sure we were coming. Oh.
Thank you guys for watching this video.
So that means there's gonna be a part 2. Oh my gosh. All right, well, if you guys want to see a part 2 to It Crawled in Her Bed at Night, which I don't even think they made yet, let me know and I'll react to it once it's dropped. An apple a day keeps the doctor away is a famous saying normally used by people who want to be healthy and avoid going to the doctor again. But what if there was a darker meaning behind this saying? What if people said that because they actually want to avoid doctors entirely since they do evil things? Now, not all doctors out there are evil. Like, the majority of doctors are actually good. But today we're going to be looking at some of the most evil doctors ever. The ones that you would want to eat an apple a day to keep them away. Starting with this first one. And warning before I get into all these, the contents of this video could be disturbing, so you at your own discretion.
This is one of the most evil doctors in American history. His name was no joke Dr. Fear, and he worked in the children's ward of one of the worst mental asylums.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, if somebody's name is Dr. Fear, I do not want to be going to them.
Back in the day, a little boy named Robert Height was brought to Pennhurst. He had developmental delays and was going to be put under Dr. Fear's care. But his parents went to see him 2 weeks after they dropped him off at Pennhurst, and what they saw was horrifying.
What happened?
Robert was covered head to toe in cuts and bruises, and he had dried blood on the side of his face. He also didn't recognize his own mother, which they later found out was because of all the drugs that the doctors had given him. And
oh my
this
gosh.
Kind of treatment was what Dr. Fear was known for. He was known to ask other doctors what the most painful shot he could give someone was that wouldn't cause any damage, and then he would administer that shot to people he wanted to punish.
Yo, this dude is freaking insane. He should be in the asylum, not working there. Are we serious? This guy's actually a psycho.
While he was a doctor there, he oversaw the entire children's ward, so he affected tons of children. It's hard to hear these stories from Pennhurst, but there's an important lesson there about disability rights and mental health care in the history of America.
Okay, that was actually so dark. There's no way that somebody named Dr. Fear would actually do that, right? I need to figure out if this is actually real or not. Dr. Fear, Pennhurst. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Look at this one right here. Dr. Jesse Fear, Pennhurst. I think that might be his full name. All right, let's search this thing up. Oh, and one of the first websites is called Find a Grave. Dr. Jesse G. Fear, 1910 to 2001. Okay, so I guess this guy is now dead. Well, let's go ahead and click on this and see if we can learn any info about him. Okay, this is apparently what Dr. Jesse Fear looked like. Dr. Jesse G. Fear, 90 years of age, died at the home of his son-in-law, Dr. Sandy Burkhart and Barbara Burkhart, in Boca Raton, Florida. Dr. Fear was born in December 30th, 1910 in Browntown, Pittston Township, Pennsylvania. That's a tongue twister. But he received his medical degree in June of 1936 at the University of Georgetown, Washington, D.C. He is the son of the late John T. and Ellen Connors Fear, lifetime residents of the Browntown section. Dr. Fear was a veteran of World War II and attained the rank of captain. He served in the South Pacific for 2 years, and he is buried with the rest of his family. Now, that's just a brief summary of Dr. Fear, but there isn't really any info about what he did at Pennhurst. So I think we have to dive a little bit deeper. And that's where I found this website, The Little House of Horrors. Pennhurst State School and Hospital. Originally known as the Eastern Pennsylvania State Institution for the Feeble-Minded and Epileptic, the Pennhurst State School and Hospital was once labeled the shame of Pennsylvania. Most of its 32 original buildings are now demolished or abandoned, even though some have a new purpose now. Would you dare to visit this place? No, I wouldn't actually. But notice how this place was called the Shame of Pennsylvania. And that lady in the short was also talking about what I'm about to talk about. People who would go to asylums for mental disorders were often viewed as lesser people, and that's not okay. You should always treat somebody as you want to be treated. But anyways, let's read more on this. In 1903, a commission was formed to count the number of feeble-minded and epileptic people in the state of Pennsylvania. Most of these individuals were placed in the wrong facilities, such as normal hospitals and even prisons. Oh, that's messed up. A new facility was urged to be built, and from 1903 to 1908, the construction was made of a place where mentally challenged and physically disabled people would be properly cared for. The building was to be divided in two groups, one for the educational and industrial purposes, and one for the custodial and asylum department. No more than 500 people were to be admitted. That all sounds pretty good, doesn't it? But the reality was a bit different. And by different, they mean darker. Because now that we've learned a little bit more of the origin of Pennhurst Asylum, it's now time to get into Dr. Fear. And it says right here, one doctor by the name of Jesse G. Fear, in parentheses it says great name for him, actually enjoyed torturing patients by giving them the most painful injections available that didn't cause permanent damage, just like we saw in that short. And in 1968, a correspondent from the local NBC 10, Bill Baldini, exposed the conditions at Pennhurst in a 5-part television news report. The report even made it to the front page of papers saying Pennhurst was the shame of Pennsylvania. So I guess there's limited information on this Dr. Fear guy, but a lot of people knew him as a very evil doctor. Bro loved torturing the patients, and that's just not okay. That is definitely one of the most evil doctors. And I know that Dr. Fear was definitely disturbing, and he was no doubt extremely evil, like I said, but this next doctor was so crazy that he apparently tortured patients thinking he could bring them back to life. And as disturbing as that sounds, there's some more info on this, so let's watch this video real quick. And once again, if you didn't see the warning last time, another warning. This video gets more disturbing. So, view at your own risk. Here we go.
This American doctor was so evil, it will make you sick. In 1952, Orphan City, Florida, there was a doctor named Al B. Back, who was known as a brilliant...
Okay, hold on a second. Like, of course this dude's freaking evil. He looks like this. Jeez.
Who was known as a brilliant surgeon, but he had a dark obsession. He believed he could unlock the secret to immortality. He found a patient, a young man with no family who had weeks left to live. The experiment began. Dr. B. Back injected a compound into the man's heart and waited. Days passed and the patient didn't die. He seemed to stabilize. The doctor was happy until the patient began to speak. "You've trapped me. I'm still dying, but I can't die." The patient wasn't immortal. He was stuck in a limbo between life and death, unable to heal, unable to die. His body remained alive, but his mind was in agony. As the patient screamed in endless torment, Al realized his dream of immortality had become a nightmare. Some days later, one of the nurses named Anita Mann realized what Al was doing and reported to the police. Once they arrived, the doctor took his own life. And the last thing he said was, "I shall go, but I will be reborn much stronger." But that didn't really happen. He was laid to rest the same day.
Dude, that's dark, bro. This doctor was genuinely so crazy, he thought he could unlock immortality by torturing this one patient. That video literally said the patient was stuck between life and death. His body was alive, but his mind was like not dead, but just like in a state of agony. Like, how awful would that be? I can't even imagine it. Thank goodness that guy got caught by the police, because that's dark. But I do want to ask you something. Imagine you were in the hospital for surgery and the doctor messes up. And instead of calling for help like any other doctor would normally do, he kidnaps you. Yeah, well, this next short claims that this actually happened to somebody. All right, here we go.
A woman suddenly lost consciousness while a fake doctor was performing an illegal laser treatment on her.
What?
And instead of taking her to the hospital, he shoved her body into a suitcase.
What?
He left this suitcase in his garage for weeks while her family and police searched for her. To hide the evidence, he buried her body in the garage and poured concrete over it. The remains were discovered nearly a year later, and the man was sent to prison.
Dude, that's insane. What the heck? Okay, let me get this right. This guy was pretending to be a doctor and performing an illegal laser treatment. And I guess it really was illegal because the lady ended up passing out. And if a procedure is legal, normally that doesn't happen. But then he, instead of getting help, he just decided, you know what? I'm gonna kidnap you. And it's a wrap from there. but I did find a comment that says who this actually is. For those interested, he's Dean Faleo. Months prior, Faleo was charged with 3 counts of practicing medicine without a license. He was ordered to stop treating patients, but continued doing so out of a friend's apartment in Lower Manhattan. In April 2003, a 35-year-old investment banker named Maria Cruz died during a laser treatment. Dean was during her final treatment, and he used too many vials of a pain reliever. When he saw she had no sign of life, he transported Maria in a suitcase and left her in his garage for weeks, until he finally cast her in concrete under a Dale in need of repair. After serving 17 years of a 20-year sentence, Faleo was released on parole in 2022. I cannot believe that bro is out of jail. But according to this comment, this short is actually sugarcoating it a lot. Apparently, the lady didn't pass out during the procedure. She actually died, and he didn't kidnap her, he just buried and tried to hide the evidence. That's a little bit darker, I'm not gonna lie. Or actually, I don't know. I don't really know which side is darker. The lady ends up dying either way. But I'm actually just as curious as this comment about how they found out that she was buried there. Did he confess? Did he need a repair and somebody got curious? Like, how did they end up actually finding that evidence? I'm genuinely curious. But I am glad that that doctor was in jail for a little bit. I think he should still be in jail. But I guess this next doctor was never put in jail, and he was pretty evil too. Here we go.
Did you know that history's most evil doctor escaped justice and lived freely for 34 years after the war? Yosef Mengele fled Auschwitz as Soviet tanks rolled closer in January 1945. He had tortured thousands of prisoners, including twin children, in horrific medical experiments. Instead of facing trial, he vanished into a secret network called the Rat Lines. Nazi sympathizers smuggled him through Europe to South America. For decades, he lived openly in Argentina and Paraguay under his real name. He attended parties, ran businesses, even had his mail delivered normally. Meanwhile, Mossad agents searched the world for him. They came within miles of his location multiple times, but never found him. In 1979, he died peacefully on a Brazilian beach. His remains weren't discovered until 1985. Evil had hidden in plain sight for over 3 decades.
That's crazy. This dude was genuinely one of the most evil doctors. I'm sure if you're in history class, you know the event that this short is talking about. But bro wasn't even caught. Like, are we serious? He just like lived life normally and he was never caught. That's insane. Let me search him up though. Yosef Mengele. It says right here, Yosef Mengele, often dubbed the Angel of Death, was a German military officer and physician during World War II, at the Soviet front and then at a camp during a tragic history event. He conducted research and experiments on prisoners, and then, like it said in the short, he went to South America, and he literally just lived his life. That's insane. Nobody ever found him. That's crazy. If he was caught, he would have been put behind bars, so that's a good thing, but wow, man. But I have yet another question for you guys. Which doctor would you rather have? The highest rated doctor in the state or just a random regular doctor? I mean, just based off how great it sounds, you would pick the highest rated doctor in the state, right? I mean, I would too. If the highest rated doctor in my whole state, country, city, whatever was near me and I could go to it, I would. But if you actually picked that doctor in this scenario, you would be cooked. And here's why. All right, here we go.
Did you know that a trusted doctor at University of Illinois Hospital was secretly poisoning his patients for years?
What?
In 1988, Chicago, Dr. Michael Swango was considered one of the best emergency physicians in the city.
Oh my
Colleagues
goodness.
praised his dedication. Patients trusted him completely with their lives.
I mean, I would too.
But
He's a
behind
doctor.
his caring smile, he was feeding arsenic and other deadly toxins to vulnerable patients. Families started noticing a disturbing pattern. Loved ones would enter his care stable, then mysteriously deteriorate and die.
That's
the hospital
insane.
tried to cover it up, transferring him quietly instead of investigating. What police found in his apartment was horrifying. Detailed journals describing each victim's final moments in excruciating detail.
What the heck?
Vials of poison lined his shelves like a twisted pharmacy. Most disturbing were the photographs he took of patients as they slowly died from his cocktails.
What
He
the
had been
heck?
keeping trophies of their suffering, recording their pain with clinical precision. By the time authorities caught him, he had murdered an estimated 60 people across
What?
multiple hospitals. The medical system had failed to stop him for over a decade.
That's insane. Dude, there's no way. What was this dude's name? Michael Swango. Michael Joseph Swango is an American serial killer and is licensed physician who is estimated to have been involved in as many as 60 fatal poisonings of patients and colleagues in the United States and Zimbabwe. He only admitted to causing 4 deaths though. Dude, that's insane. And this dude is still alive, but he is in life for prison without parole. So that's good. He can't get out of prison. But that's insane that this story is true. That's actually disturbing. This guy is genuinely probably one of the most evil doctors of all time. Anyways, this is why you should always check if a doctor has his license and if he's official or not, because, you know, he may seem good on paper like that guy, but this short we're about to watch is going to expose the truth of a very disturbing case.
This was probably the most dangerous doctor in South African history. A man by the name of Andre Esterhazen was a high school dropout who posed as a fake doctor for 8 years at a South African hospital. From 1982 to 1990, he pretended to be a pediatrician at the now abandoned Kempton Park Hospital in Johannesburg. Esterhazen treated thousands of patients and was responsible for the deaths of multiple babies. He also injured several newborn children due to medical negligence and malpractice. He apparently had an extremely high IQ and studied medical books for years, but his lack of formal training eventually became evident. He was put on trial and sentenced to 18 years in prison for culpable homicide, impersonating a doctor, and defrauding patients. During his sentencing, the doctor described him as the mother of all frauds. And this remains one of the most shocking cases in South African medical history.
Okay, so according to this short, this guy was very smart. Like, very smart. He could figure things out. And he passed for a doctor, but he didn't have his license and he didn't have any practice, leading to deaths of lots of patients, lots of anything. You know what I mean? So because this guy wasn't properly trained, he ended up making very, very life-threatening mistakes. Like, these people literally, like, I can't believe it. That's crazy. That was one of the craziest cases yet. Like, I don't even think this guy did it on purpose. Like, he just like had no training. But anyways, on to the next one, because imagine you are going to a regular doctor checkup. I mean, everybody has yearly checkups, right? I do. I'm sure you do. But imagine leaving and you think everything is fine until eventually you got diagnosed with something that would change your life forever. And obviously you would panic. Yo, I would panic too if I got diagnosed with something that changed my life. But what if I told you that this next doctor we would be talking about would lie about that diagnosis, and he would lie about that just to make money, and he would make so much money off of many worried patients?
Imagine going to your doctor, someone you trust with your life, and being told you have cancer.
Wow.
You're terrified, you're vulnerable, and you believe them. But what if that diagnosis was a lie? What if the treatments you were getting were not only unnecessary, but dangerous? This is exactly what happened to hundreds of patients in Michigan, and it was all for one doctor's greed. In July 2015, Dr. Farid Fada, a well-respected hermatologist and oncologist from the Detroit area, was sentenced to 45 years in prison for one of the most horrifying healthcare fraud cases ever seen.
That's insane.
And trust me, the story gets even worse. So Fada's scam was massive. He falsely diagnosed 553 patients with cancer.
553 patients? What?
And administered aggressive, dangerous treatments they didn't even need.
And he treated them aggressively, and they didn't even need it.
Just so he could bill Medicare and private insurance companies for more money. I mean, we're talking about $34 million in fraudulent claims.
That's insane. That is so messed up.
Basically, this means that people who were perfectly healthy were told they had life-threatening diseases, and instead of helping them, Fada gave them chemotherapy and other toxic treatments, putting their lives at serious risk. Some of those patients died, and others were left with severe health issues because of medications they never needed. But it gets even
so insane. And apparently it gets more disturbing. Like, what? Oh my gosh. Like, if you didn't know, there's like the treatments for these types of like diseases are very harsh. And if you're perfectly healthy and don't need it, your body is not going to react the way it needs to. So yeah, these people have now been affected for life. Some of them have even moved on from life. Like, it's insane. And all because somebody wanted money. Like, really, bro? Come on. That's so messed up. But what if I actually told you that there was a time where doctors were one of the most terrifying killer groups of all time? Here, let's just watch this and you'll understand, because that sounds pretty shocking. And by the way, another disclaimer real quick, this one is also pretty disturbing, but watch at your own risk.
Did you know doctors once became the most terrifying killers in history? In 1937 Manchuria, the Japanese military built Unit 731 under Dr. Shiro Ishii. They called it a water purification unit, but it was actually a human experimentation factory. Prisoners were labeled as logs, not people. Chinese civilians, Soviet soldiers, anyone they captured. They infected victims with plague and anthrax just to watch them die slowly. Doctors performed surgery without painkillers, removing organs from conscious prisoners. They froze limbs repeatedly, tested pressure until eyes burst from skulls. The goal was creating biological weapons through pure torture disguised as science. When the war ended, America gave these war criminals immunity in exchange for their research data. Justice was traded for knowledge, and the monsters walked free.
Oh my goodness. They didn't even get sent to prison. America just got the data from it. Oh, what? Oh my gosh, this one's dark, bro. That's insane. Look, this comment said they're mad. I can't believe that they're actually walking free, but you know, I guess trading justice for data does make sense in a way. In a way, it makes sense. You can understand why a military would do that, but it's also still messed up. They shouldn't have done that. Why do people torture people? That's not okay. But anyways, this next short, we will actually be diving into apparently Great Britain's most evil doctor. That took the lives of hundreds of patients. And not just like a few, like literally hundreds. I'm so serious. Here we go.
Did you know that Britain's most trusted family doctor was actually killing his patients for over 20 years?
20
Harold
years?
Shipman seemed like the perfect physician. Kind, caring, always willing to make house calls.
What the heck?
On a cold January morning in 1998, he knocked on 81-year-old Kathleen Grundy's door.
Okay.
She was alone, feeling unwell. He assured her family he'd take good care of her.
Okay.
Minutes after his injection of diamorphine, she was dead.
Oh, what?
For 23 years, Shipman had been selecting his victims carefully. Elderly patients living alone with no witnesses around. He'd arrive with his medical bag, administer lethal doses of painkillers, then forge their medical records to hide the evidence.
That's
Over
insane.
200 people died this way, trusting him completely. The pattern finally emerged when police noticed something chilling. Every single death occurred during his solo visits. When they exhumed the bodies, toxicology reports revealed massive drug overdoses. The gentle family doctor had become Britain's most prolific serial killer, murdering those who trusted him most.
That's so messed up. That one might be the most evil doctor of them all because that has the most deaths. That's insane. I actually can't believe that is a real story. I can't believe all these are actually real stories. That's crazy. These are genuinely the most evil doctors ever. But let me know in the comments which one you guys thought was the most evil of them all. I would say this last one. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you click another video on screen, subscribe if you want more, and I will see you in the next one.